Hey, good morning. What's poppin'? This your boy Jay the Comedian. How y'all doing today? Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm actually doing real good today. It's a beautiful day. I even got the window down. Not for long. I'm gonna turn the windows up so I don't get any of that, expressway noise going on. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys today about something that's been happening to me a lot. Something that's been said to me a lot lately, especially by Christian XJWs. Now, what do they say to me? They say, Jay, you know what? Even though the Jehovah Witness organization is absolutely wrong and absolutely false, and they tricked you and they've done horrible things, that doesn't really give you a reason not to believe in God. Really? Because see, this is the thing. As a lot of you know, I'm an atheist. I'm probably more leaning toward agnostic than atheist, but you know what? Just the fact that I think that there's a possibility that there could be a God doesn't mean that I believe that there is definitely a God. Just open up to the possibility. But they're saying, don't let this organization cause you not to believe in God. Okay, let's look into that a little bit. Let's say I ran an organization, okay? I was the leader. I'm the one the buck stops with, okay? Now, I look around one day and I notice, I'm like, man, all I have working in my office is men. All these crazy men. I need some females working in this office. So I go out and I hire a nice young lady, beautiful, smart, intelligent, very hardworking, and I said, please come work for my company. And she said, okay, I'll come work for your company. Now, day one at the company, halfway through the day, she comes to my office. I'm like, hey there, how are you liking it here? And she tells me, well, I do like it here. The work is very, very fun and the pay is very good. But there seems to be one problem. I'm like, what's that, young lady? She says, well, today I was sitting at my desk and one of my coworkers came and humped my leg. I said, really? Well, that's very interesting. But I guess that's just where you work, This is one of those things that happen at work. You can just go back to work, just ignore it, So the next day she comes up, she's like, hey, remember yesterday I told you about, my leg got humped? I'm like, yeah, I remember that. What's going on now? She's like, well, you see, the thing is that now somebody just humped one of my toes. They humped my big toe when I was sitting there trying to do my tax return. I said, wait a minute. You don't have on closed-toe shoes? That's against our policy here. You are not to wear open-toe shoes at work. That's against the policy. And since it's against the policy, you kind of ask for it. And you know what? That is just something that's going to happen. Just make sure that you cover your toes up and you should be good from this point forward. And then every day for several months, she comes back talking about how somebody was trying to hump her at work. See, this is the thing. Eventually, she would quit, she'd sue the company, and she'd sue me personally. Because even though I wasn't doing the humping, I knew about it, and I didn't do anything to stop it. That's what the Jehovah Witnesses are doing and allowed to do by their so-called God, by your so-called God. Because they're not doing this on their own merit. They're saying that this is God's religion. This is God's organization. And God is this, God is that. And now this is the thing. I know I can hear you through the phone. I know what you're saying and what you're thinking. You're saying to me, well, no. You see, they're not really with God. They're saying that they're with God, but they're not really with God. That's why they're doing these horrible things. If they're really with God, they wouldn't be doing these horrible, horrible things. Well, let's look at that then, okay? Let's say that the same company I had, right? I want to be an entrepreneur, obviously. But let's say the same company I had, we make computers, okay? We make these computers, and these are some terrible, terrible computers. I'm talking about you get electrocuted every time you use a vowel, and like, it don't even have all the letters of the alphabet on there, missing a couple numbers too. And also, it has the Apple logo all over it. And we push it and sell it as if it's an Apple product. And if you leave it on the charger for longer than 15 minutes, it explodes in a fiery explosion. These are the worst computers ever built. And I'm trying to push them and sell them as if they're Apple computers, right? How long would I be able to get away with that before Apple, the actual Apple company, comes down and sue me and hit me with all type of cease and desist letters and literally send the police and FBI to stop me from making these horrible products and calling them Apple products? Because that would be me ruining their look, ruining their brand. You know what I'm saying? Which is not allowed by a simple company. A tech company would not allow another company to ruin their brand. And this is the thing. Apparently, God doesn't care about things like that. God is okay with you absolutely ruining his brand. He doesn't care. He just lets you do it. And if that's true, and if God is 1,000% okay with you just absolutely not caring about his things, and he just let you do what you want, you can kind of get and understand why I would not believe in him. How is that not logical? People will tell you it's illogical not to believe in God, right? Because if you really sit down and think, what's your best argument for God? Usually it's, well, we didn't just get here. We just didn't appear. We obviously had some design or some creator. Okay, I can get behind that. But just because we have a design and a creator, does that mean that now the Bible's true? And now every story in the Bible is true? Because there's other Bibles out there. And what it always comes down to, every single argument I've ever had or talked about with a Christian person, it always ends up coming down to faith. Oh, I just have faith. Oh, I have faith. Let me tell you about faith, okay? Faith, this one guy, right? He was a preacher. I forgot exactly where, somewhere down south, of course. And this preacher had a snake, poisonous snake. And he said that the poisonous snake would not harm him because he's with God. And he had faith in God. And he was displaying his faith by operating with this freaking poisonous snake, right? The snake bit him and killed him, okay? And yeah, he had faith. You can't argue that he didn't have it. You can't say, oh, well, he must not have really had it. That's why he got bitten. No, he had it. Because all of us people with common sense would have been like, you know what? I got faith, but I also have common sense. I don't want to mess with any poisonous snakes. But he got bitten by the snake and he died. So, what's up with your faith? But it's not just that. There's these guys, right? They had a whole bunch of faith. They got inside of these airplanes filled with passengers and they flew them into buildings. Faith. They had faith that they were doing what God wanted them to do. You see, I do not believe that a God exists. If a God did exist, if we were created, I could kind of understand that. But I can also I can completely see if I'm going to always look at what answer makes the most sense, right? If we were created, what answer makes the most sense? In my view, it's that we were created, and whatever created us was like, oh, wow, I can't believe I done that. That was amazing. I'm able to build stuff on a large and small scale. And yeah, I'm not really held by anything that's in the physical universe. That's great. I'm out of here now. I'm going to go do this somewhere else. I done it here. Now I'm going to go somewhere else and do it somewhere else. Because you know how big the universe and galaxies and stuff like that is. That makes more sense than some guy who just created life here and now he's looking at me and making sure I don't beat off, and he doesn't like me hanging with 90% of his other creations, and he destroyed the earth several times over. Like, none of that makes sense. But people will say that's more logical than something that created us and just was like, all right, y'all, be good to each other. I'm out of here. Peace. Like, that makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, the problem is that when you look at religion in a whole, it causes a lot more problems than it fixes, if we're being honest, you know? Like global warming, for example. It's happening. It's absolutely happening. And it's going to probably destroy us all. But people are saying, nah, you see, God wouldn't let that happen. Really? Okay, I've seen a lot of bad stuff happen. If you're gonna sit there and just say, well, I have faith he won't let it happen. I've seen a lot of people have faith and end up really hurt. Don't be that guy with the snake. You know what's kind of meaning? Anyway, it's your boy Jay the Comedian. I hope y'all having a great day. I am, and I will talk to you tomorrow. All right? Holla at your guala. Deuces.